I am Reverend David Chandler, your interim minister many moons ago, now already 6 years, which is mind-boggling. Welcome to First Parish, Unitarian Universalist. And we are in Medfield, so check your GPS. This is Medfield. This 1789 church is the third on this site, which was unceded land of the Nipmuc Indians. We are a progressive church serving Medfield and nearby towns like Norfolk, Millis, Dover, Westwood, and Walpole. Regardless of your religious or ethnic background, or your birthplace or theology, or your income or your political party, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here regardless of your abilities or disabilities, whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, or queer. As Unitarian Universalists, we are united by our covenant, which is printed on the inside back of your order of service. Our covenant, the promises we make to each other, not to the world, to ourselves as a community. And we make those promises to our movement and through them, in fact, into the wider world, rather than a particular set of beliefs. The 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism, which you can find in the front of the gray hymnal, are the substance of our promises. If this is your first time with us, a special welcome to you, and please be sure to stop by the welcome table in the narthex to connect with folks who can answer any questions you may have. Now, a narthex is that space out there. Our call to worship today is from the late Shamus Haney, my birthday buddy, April 13th. It's called St. Kevin and the Blackbird. You may remember it. I've used it before. It's one of my favorites, but it seemed so good for this particular sermon and service. And then there was St. Kevin and the Blackbird. The saint is kneeling, arms stretched out, inside his cell. But the cell is narrow, so one turned up palm is out the window, stiff as a crossbeam, when a blackbird lands and lays in it and settles down to nest. Kevin feels the warm eggs, the small breast, the tucked, neat head and claws, and finding himself linked into the network of eternal life, is moved to pity. Now he must hold his hand like a branch out in the sun and rain for weeks until the young are hatched and fledged and flown. And since the whole thing's imagined anyhow, imagine being Kevin. Which is he? Self-forgetful or in agony all the time? From the neck on out, down through his hurting forearms. Are his fingers sleeping? Does he still feel his knees? Or has the shut-eyed blank of under earth crept up through him? Is there distance in his head, alone and mirrored clear in love's deep river? To labor and not seek reward, he prays. A prayer his body makes entirely, for he has forgotten self, forgotten bird, and on the riverbank, forgotten the river's name.
Our chalice lighting reading this morning is by Rainer Maria Rilke. Not to be cut off, not through the slightest partition, shut out from the law of the stars. The inner, what is it? If not intensified sky, hurled through with birds and deep with the winds of homecoming.
Thank you, Eva. I invite you now to join in our unison covenant on the back cover, the inside back cover of your order of service. We'll read lines 1, 2, and 7. Love is the foundation and spirit of our congregation, and we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity. As people of goodwill, we covenant with one another to serve the wider community with compassion, commitment, and integrity. Thank you. Please rise as you are comfortable and join in hymn number 315, 315, This Old World. This old world is full of sorrow, sickness, grief, and sorrow. If you love your neighbor truly, God will come to you the more. We're all children of one family. We're all brothers, sisters too. If you cherish one another, love and friendship come to you. This old world can be a garden full of fragrance, full of praise. If we love our neighbors truly, we must meet them face to face. It is said, now love thy neighbor, and we know well that is true. This must all of human labor, true for me as well as you. William Walker, the man who created the Southern harmony, bedrock of a lot of traditional music in the Appalachians. We have special music today from our choir.
This is a song that we had done for Music Sunday, and it used to be a regular song in the congregation called Take Up the Song. The chorus happens 3 times. If you know it, you're welcome to sing along. If you pick it up while we're singing and you want to join in, please feel free to.
Thank you, choir.
Our reading this morning is by Jane Kenyon from her collected poems called Briefly It Enters and Briefly Speaks. I am the blossom pressed in a book, found again after 200 years. I am the maker, the lover, and the keeper. When the young girl who starves sits down to a table, she will sit beside me. I am food on the prisoner's plate. I am food on the prisoner's plate. I am water rushing to the wellhead, filling the pitcher until it spills. I am the patient gardener of the dry and weedy garden. I am the stone step, the latch, and the working hinge. I am the heart contracted by joy, the longest hair, white before the rest. I am there in the basket of fruit presented to the widow. I am the musk rose opening unattended, the fern on the boggy summit. I am the one whose love overcomes you, already with you when you think to call my name.
Thank you. Jane Kenyon, you may remember, wrote some of her most important work when she was dying in her 40s of cancer. This sermon is called Faith in the Time of Cholera. The automobile hurtling toward us was filled with nuns. They wore habits in 1963, so this was clear as the sisters careened past, eastbound in the westbound lanes of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. On a sunny day, we were in the front seat of a top-down convertible, my brother driving, our mother in the middle, and me on the outside. There were no median barriers on the turnpike then, so they lurched across and right at us. What I did not see, but must have been there, was a crimson cloud of intercessory prayer, popping up right after their front tire blew and trailing the bucketing vehicle all the way to a final and safe stop. What's the point of serving God if you can't ask a favor? Surely they deserved one. Surely so do we. Love in the Time of Cholera is the title of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's acclaimed 1985 novel. His story is the maelstrom of passion, too much and too little. Cholera is his backdrop of disease and despair. Our story is the crass destruction of our country, of our heritage and our values, of our place in the world. I borrow the cholera as our backdrop of disease and despair. It's been the Blue Death for centuries. Cholera bacteria produce a malignant toxin in the small intestine. It causes violent diarrhea. The severe dehydration that follows robs oxygen from the blood to produce a distinctive pallor, along with sunken eyes, sagging skin, mental confusion, and heart arrhythmia. Cholera pandemics have taken millions of lives since the early 1800s. The second struck Europe and North America 1826 to 1837. 150,000 died in the United States alone. The seventh pandemic began in 1961 in Indonesia. It continues today, notably in Africa. Even if you didn't get sick, to be caught up in a cholera outbreak was to suffer social collapse. Healthy people died within hours. Anyone who could run away did so. Normal life devolved to well-documented horror. That horror is one we don't suffer now because cholera was eventually identified as a disease of deficient public health and readily prevented by the public works provision of clean water and efficient sewage disposal. Who knows how much longer we will have public health, or public works, or even public order. We live now in the age of the mad king, and malicious ignorance is the Bitcoin of the realm. The present is threatening, and the future is dark. I'm not telling you anything you probably don't already know. The king decides what there is to decide and chooses as he wishes. No interest but his own is clearly served, and his appetite gargantuan. He is madly impulsive, erratic, corrupt, and vindictive. His reach is increasingly unhinged and staggeringly unrestrained. We are charged to reverse these catastrophic circumstances, to overthrow this shambling tyranny. I believe we will. But the first requirement is that our hearts must be strong enough to survive it. The road is hard and it will be long. What will sustain us? I suggest we start in this very place. The old New England churches believed in what they called the company of saints, those who have gone on. These saints remain with us always, in ways both mysterious in our hearts and perceptible in our world. There are thousands of lives and souls embedded in the walls of this historic sanctuary. They worshiped here, learned and taught here, married here, mourned here. They witness every joy and sorrow brought here, spoken or silent. They were not forsaken and are not forgotten. We will likewise not be. This matters. It is the heart of faith. We are enclosed. The episodes and experiences of our lives unfold in the linear flow of time. More important in many ways is that we also live into our lives, up and down and side to side, and sometimes pillar to post. Nonetheless, we are always enclosed. We are enclosed in history. We are enclosed in the world. We are enclosed in the human race. This is not often our everyday realization, but that precisely is why we come together in worship, to wake up to this larger reality, to be held and know that this is so. From this place, we go forth with faith in progress, not the chimera of things always getting better and better, they don't, but progress as movement, as progression from what is to what will be. Call it the faith of the seasons. They are always here, but also always coming and going. One follows another, ceaselessly changing, but eternally rooted. We go forth with faith in the cosmic all. The animation of the universe is everywhere. Life vibrates ceaselessly. So does everything else, from the tiniest particle of matter to the galactic hum of the stars, literally throbbing with possibility. We are never lost. Being found, being enclosed, we can ask, does God love us? Does God even exist? We know love exists, and not by rational evaluation. Only a determined pedant would make that mistake. We know love because we feel it. We also know grace exists because even that pedant will be struck by love sooner or later, and probably unlooked for, a gift, as is grace itself. Can we not therefore feel God exists? Use no limiting descriptions, no book of particulars, no list of boxes that must be checked. Look instead to your heart and trust what it says to you. I make no claims. What it says will be clear or unambiguous or unchanging. This is just not in the nature of things. So don't expect to be struck off your ass on the way to Damascus. Although we should always be open to the possibility. If what floats up in your turbulent heart is no more than a question, accept the question. Every prophet knows that to ask is how you approach, that the question is the very nature of the divine. Uncertainty is the answer, because only uncertainty can ever encompass the whole. Mere certainty, as we mortals can only define it, will never stretch to the outermost reach, or even anywhere nearby. Whatever faith you find or follow, remember it is a communal activity. It is social. The solitary desert fathers lived together. The anchorite Julian of Norwich, all manner of things will be well, you remember her, greeted streams of pilgrims at the window of her cell. We believe things in harmony with those around us. We choose our friends, build our families, engage in the magic of free association. Remember, James Luther Adams identified that as the heart of religious community, and de Tocqueville found it especially vigorous in our young republic. Now, we may or may not exactly like all these folks, but we walk together to associate with them day by day over months and years of shared living. We stress over and over that a faith community that is working is not one in which you agree with everybody about everything, but one in which you feel yourself comfortably stretched, as it were. Admitting your own occasional crankiness, as well as theirs, you still recognize these folks. These are your people. You are pilgrims together, and you are journeying in company that sustains you. You know these things by faith. You believe them to be true, which is the definition of faith. Don't delude yourself that there's some checklist you are rationally parsing as the last word on human relations. None of us can be evaluated in such a way. We go forth instead by intuition and prepare to forgive the rough patches in favor of discerning the best. This is the simple, everyday courage that binds us to each other. The world would grind to a halt if we didn't have it. As long as we use it, we cannot be sundered. We cannot be sundered. We cannot be smothered by those who wish us ill. We cannot be chained in endless fear. We cannot forfeit our resilience, and we will not lose ourselves or be forever strangers in our own country. We can root ourselves among our people and our faith and our own strength. I urge you to heed this call. Take heart, hold hands, stand fast, stand fast, stand fast. Amen. Blessed be. Shalom. Salam. We have now a time of meditation and prayer, a time for us to explore our dragon breaths. It's a great concept. Remember to turn the pilot light off before you exhale. These wooden building, very fragile. But seriously, it is a great concept because obviously a deep breath draws everything inside you and around you. And when you let it go, things move. Your heart, the people around you, the surroundings. So, take it in and let it out. Take it in and let it out. And settle where you are. No need to be anywhere else in this moment. All around you are people who love you. Throughout your world are people who love you. And they will not stop. We have some moments now of silence. Now it is time for our offering for the good work and witness of this congregation. I invite Fritz Fleischman forward.
Good morning. Since, like most academics, I'm not known for brevity, I wrote down what I want to say, so this is to protect you from myself. I take my cue from the announcement in the newsletter that you were going to talk about corruption, which you did. So I thought about this. The Latin root verb for corruption is rumpere, which means to break, to pull apart, to separate. We have the noun rupture based on that. But the opposite of breaking is holding together, being whole. A corrupted community is a community that is no longer whole, that has lost its sense of a common good. It is an assemblage of independent contractors, so to speak, each unit only looking out for itself. It is a community without values, without shared norms. That is, a community which cannot govern itself, but must submit and will submit to autocratic leadership. The antidote to corruption, and you said this much more beautifully than I can, is a community like ours, which is governed by democratic values and has a clear understanding of the common good. For this and many other reasons, in our enlightened self-interest, we must support its continuing existence and productive growth. Let us do so today and every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. I invite you now to rise as you are comfortable and join in hymn number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life, 86. Blessed Spirit of my life, give strength through stress and strife. Help me live with dignity. Let me know serenity. Fill me with elation. Clear my mind of fear and confusion. When my thoughts are restlessly, let peace find a home in me. Spirit of great mystery, hear the still small voice in me. Help me with my wordless creed, as I comfort those in me. Fill me with compassion, be the source of my intuition. When life is not for me, let love be my legacy. Thank you. Our benediction today comes from the poet Philip Terman, Walking to Jerusalem. Pedometer attached to her belt, your mother, spry and strong at 80, joins the other Methodist Church members in calculating the 5,915 miles, no matter the weather, to add up all the way from Linesville, Pennsylvania to Jerusalem. They need not worry about miracles or pausing at the signs of the cross. They need not stop for security to check their purses for weapons. They need no visa nor baggage, no money to exchange for shekels, no guidebook, no guide. They need no ancient tongue or prophecies. They are simply day by day walking mile after mile, the sink to the table, uptown to the post office, down the block to visit the sick neighbor, Sundays to and from church. And when they walk far enough, adding up their pedometers together, they will arrive in Jerusalem and keep walking.